Hit stop.
Did you hit go? Right. Hi, I'm Josh Freeman, and today we're going to be covering the front end of the M998 axle drop pinch point. As you can clearly see here, we're working on the M998, which is stated on the tag of the vehicle. This is your standard government Humvee from the military. Nothing too special when it comes to the tonnage or the size of the vehicle. So the very common problem with everyone wants to play with these vehicles is the suspension. So what I'm trying to gain out of my truck here is eventually doing suspension modifications and getting more drop out of my suspension. What I've done first for ease of measurement and trying to prove some stuff, I have removed my front spring. I have disconnected my shock absorber, which is the bump stop on the drop of the suspension. This stops everything from binding first, so you do not break something. The next thing that we disconnected is we disconnected our sway bar, as you can see over here on the opposite side. And the only few items left connected is the tie rod. And the tie rod will not bind due to the fact that we have a ball all the way back here that can pivot at a 180 degrees or more for the axle. One thing I wanted to note on my front end combination is I do have an older upper ball joint and a lower design lower ball joint. These two ball joints are noted because you have a 5/16 bolt size up top. That is the shank of the bolt. And then down below, you can't see it, but you have a 3/8 shank bolt down here at the bottom. Now, one thing that we're going to be covering today is we're trying to find out where our pinch point is on the maximum drop. You have some people say it is the upper ball joint because it has less movement, and some people say it is the CV shaft. And once again, we have a 7K CV shaft and an older design upper ball joint. So what we're going to do today to figure out and bust this little myth is what we're going to do is take a measurement, and we're going to put a push this down as far as we possibly can. We'll take a measurement from the center of the hub to underneath of the frame of the fender of the truck. And this measurement here from this point down to our hub is going to be the same for all trucks. So anyone can try to compare this and do this themselves to see what they got going on. So next up here, I'm going to take a pry bar because you do have some bind due to rubber that's on the A-arms where they're mounted on the frame. So we're going to need a little extra help to make sure those drop as far as we can get them to hit our bind point. So we're sitting at, about 30.5 inches. Now we are sitting at roughly 31.5 inches as our total drop. Now what we're going to try to gain out of this is replacing the upper and lower ball joints to the newer, larger ball joints, and to see if we gain any more drop out of the suspension and see if that takes away out any possible bind. Stay tuned. And also too, I want to thank Mike from American Humvee. His website, AmericanHumvee.shop, for all of his suspension tips and help that he has given me. And thank you. Stay tuned to the next video.